Hello everybody, we're getting ready to do our pre-algebra here. So we're going to do another lesson in pre-algebra math. Here's your ordering information for tutoring, for catalog of PowerPoints and videos for the whole course, worksheets, you name it. Email me. I'll hook you up. 9.1 square roots. We're going to start getting ready here to get into some geometry part of the pre-algebra course. Classwork. Here's the bell work for your students as they walk in the classroom. 15 feet tall, cast shadow, how tall is fence post. So we start using triangulation here. Find a slope and then slope here. So we're getting closer to like an analytical geometry kind of a treatment here, a pre-algebra. This is for a student's notebook here. This is a notebook slide. Square roots. You found squares and numbers. You'll find approximate square roots and numbers so you can find a person who's running. This is your class worksheet. This is a concept slide, square root of a number, two positive square roots, one square root, two square roots, one positive, one negative. So we introduce a plus and minus sign here. So this is on the classwork sheet that you will get with your course suite of your order worksheets. Here's an example here, square root of 100. So the negative of the square root of 100. And then we get our plus and minus here. Then it goes into the square root of 0. The notebook slide here is a good notebook taking slide. We get into a kind of a thought experiment here about the 324 square meters. What is the length of each side of the board? So we need to find the square root of 324. Excuse me. Then we get into a vocabulary here. Perfect square and square root. This goes into the student's notebook on their vocabulary keeping. Class worksheet, page 6. Finding a square root. The chessboard situation up there, 324 square meters. So now we're going to find that thing because 18 squared equals 324. You could use your calculator to find that. And then our first guided practice, find the square roots of this number here. This is the independent practice here. I think that is abundantly simple. Approximating square roots. A perfect square is a number that is the square of an integer. So these are perfect squares here. When you have an integer that is the square root of another integer. So we can use perfect squares to find approximations of squares that aren't perfect. Approximating the square root of 51 to the nearest integer. The nearest perfect square would be 49 to 51. 49, and then the next one would be 64. That'd be way above 51. Is 64, so that'd be way far away from 51. This statement can be expressed by this: 49 is less than 51 is less than 64. And then we can use inequality again. Identify the perfect square as closest to 51. This is the way you would set that up using radicals. Then 7 is less than square root of 51. So that's the way you can kind of approximate what your square root is there if you're not using a calculator. And these kinds of mental math techniques are good for when you're taking highly important tests like the SAT and other tests. You can do that mentally. So the nearest integer, square root of 51, is approximately 7. Approximate the square root to the nearest integer, so we have a negative 84. Approximate 125 to the nearest whole number. This is the student's independent practice here. So for up here, 81 is less than 84 is less than 100. So it's between 9 and 10. The square root of 84 is between 9 and 10. So it's approximately 9 here. And the negative square root of 84 is approximately negative 9. Here, students, do that on your own. Example 3, using a calculator. Use a calculator to approximate square root of 515. Round to the nearest tenth. So we enter that in. Second radical 515 in parentheses here equals what? Here's the screenshot of a calculator. Get 22.69361144. Answer is approximately 22. We round up here to 6 to 0.7, 22.7. Now our guided practice here. What's the negative square root of 10? Use a calculator. So down here, use a calculator for this, students. So the negative square root of 10 is approximately negative 3.2. Down here, I don't know. You do that, students. 13a. Then here's your homework for 9.1 square roots. Here's the standard, square roots and cube roots. Describe and give an example here. Find the square roots of those. Approximate the square root to these. So now you have to use an inequality, a statement of inequality like we did in the lesson. This was even in the lesson, so this one wasn't and this one wasn't. But that was done in the lesson. Go up and look at your classwork sheet to do this homework, students. Solve the equation. So now we got to take. Well, I'm not going to show you how to do it. That's you. The base of the Eiffel Tower. Write an equation. So now you get to go from write a verbal model and put into an algebraic expression. Find the square roots of a number. And if you need extra space, and you might, attach an answer sheet. Use your own paper and staple it here. Okay? Don't freak out on me. Say, Mr. Ruff, there's not enough room. There's room if you attach an answer sheet. Attach a piece of paper to this answer sheet, okay? And write your answers here so when I grade it, I don't go crazy looking for them. And then here's word problems here. Good word problems for you. And that is 9.1. If you need ordering information, email me. I'll send that off to you. You'll get access to PowerPoints and or videos.